think we have a lot to go over today. We always have a lot to go over, but welcome everybody to the February 21st edition of the Scientific Governance and Risk Meeting with Stephen Becker, Rune Christensen, and an array of industry luminaries. Set the agenda for us.
Okay, so what I'd like to do today is just talk firstly about two things. Number one, metrics that we are looking at right now that may inform us to consider another change in the stability fee. I don't think we've had a whole lot of time to go by in order to assess if the first raise was impactful, but we are certainly cognizant of it, and we need to be very much aware of where we are right now. And then the second aspect is, and I was asked this as well, is let's revisit the whole idea of how to be a risk team. Since the stability fee raise, do you think there has been an effect on the exchange rates, on the sort of collective or aggregate idea that the DAI exchange has gone to or has settled around 1?
I would say it's a small effect. Sorry, Stephen, but I think it wasn't. It's a joke, you. I don't think there's been that much of an effect. Just a little bit. That's about it.
My impression is actually that things have gotten worse now. I mean, we're seeing like multiple Reddit posts with people just complaining and being like, "DAI is so weak," like and this kind of stuff. Yeah, but I mean, I just think this shows that a 0.5 raise really has no effect whatsoever. Through some
questions, so like, is it the reason why we haven't seen it move the needle because the change was too incremental to actually change people's behavior, or wasn't it large? Was it not large enough psychologically to make people think twice about opening?
Yeah, so there's been multiple people on Reddit, for instance, making the argument that ultimately market dynamics themselves drive changes at such a stronger degree than something like a tiny stability fee change, because a lot of people, they open CDPs for fun, right? Like they don't even look at the stability fee or whatever, right? They just go and do it. So that, that basically that 0.5% adjustments currently is just kind of meaningless.
As far as I remember, but what's going on in the rest of DeFi is, I think, pretty relevant. So right now, and I'm not an expert on how stuff like Compound works, but like if you go on the Compound homepage, you'll see that they're offering 2.25 interest for lending your DAI. This rate, which I, to be honest, don't even know where it comes from or where it's set or who's paying it, clearly must have some effect on the rates that you can get.
Speaks to the fact that a 0.5% stability fee increase it's not like it doesn't even work currently, and at the same time we're actually trending down, right? So things are getting worse and worse over time. I think sort of the right thing to do now would be, so right now there's I don't think that we could go out today and be like, hey, let's increase the stability fee with some some higher amount or something. That would be kind of that would just be too sudden, right? But I think what we could do is we could get consensus today of doing a 0.5% stability fee increase, and then set the expectation that if we once again see absolutely zero effect of this, and in fact, if we see a continuous negative trend, then we're going to start with, maybe we should go back to 2% adjustments or something like that. We can have that.
I'm going to put forward a proposal to increase the stability fee by 0.5%, that being 50 basis points.
And release of that, people can expect to see another 50 basis points proposal coming tomorrow. What do you think the rough timeline would be, Stephen?
That's a very good question. I don't want to commit to anything right now, but I would like to try and get something out. I'm in Omaha, and I still need to go to a few things. So if I'm going to put a Tuesday as my first target, it's a soft target, but hopefully by then, not on Tuesday, but by then we might have something. We should have something out.